Hi everyone, this is basically part 2 to my video, um, updating you on my life, and this part's going to be more about my symptoms of depression and anxiety, and what I go through on a daily basis, and how it is, for me. And so yeah, let's get started. I've known for a while now that I have had anxiety issues. Even years ago, I knew that I was slightly different from people. I didn't enjoy being around people as much as others, and like when family came for holidays or something, I would be up in my room and I didn't really want to come down, even though I knew I wanted to see my family. I just didn't want to be around people. It was very confusing for me. And yeah, I've never liked parties. I've never really liked big gatherings of people. It always made me very anxious, and I never understood why. I never had birthday parties as a kid because I couldn't imagine that so many people, like, in my area. It was scary to me. And so I've known for quite a while that I've had anxiety issues, and about 3 or 4 years ago, um, I started to see depression symptoms in myself. Um, my grandfather passed away, and he was the first person he was the first person I'd ever lost. He was the first death experience I'd ever gone through, and it was very hard on me. It was hard on my family. My mom and dad were fighting at the time, and my dad was staying with his mom and dad. Um, well, his dad, my grandfather, was in the hospital, but he was staying in his mom's house, and so the family being disconnected like that when my grandfather died was very hard. And the day my grandfather died, we all went to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother said some things to us kids that my mother didn't really think should have been said, and she voiced her opinion, and both women, both my mom and my dad's mom, are very strong-headed women, and there was basically an argument, and my mom left and went to my aunt's house, and I didn't go with her, even though I wanted to, but I didn't want to leave my dad and my grandmother. So that was very hard. That whole experience of my grandfather dying was very hard on me. And not too long after that, the dog that we had for years, he was about 13, we had to put him down, and he was like my best friend. We had him since I was like 3, and he was my best friend, and losing him so soon after losing my grandfather was very hard. And it basically all has gone downhill from there. Um, I had an experience with a boyfriend who killed himself, and I blamed myself a lot. I think I still sort of blame myself. I don't think I'll ever know for sure why he decided to kill himself. So there's always that thought in my head that, what if I could have prevented this? Or what if he decided to do this because of me in some way? So because I'll never know why he decided to kill himself, I'll probably always blame myself a little bit. And after the experience of my boyfriend killing himself, I realized I was having depressive symptoms, I retreated to my room a lot more often than I had previously done, and just generally being happy didn't happen anymore. I've always been a very laid back person, and I was very high strung, very emotional, and I realized this change in myself, and I thought maybe I need to see someone and talk about these issues and talk about the suicide that I've just gone through. Um, but I never thought that my problems were big enough. I never thought that my problems mattered enough. And so I kept all of my emotions inside. And then, about a year after that, I met a boy. I met him through Facebook, and I became very attached to him very, very quickly. And I realized very quickly that I loved him. And I've never before believed in love at first sight. And this wasn't really love at first sight because I didn't like walk by him and be like, "Oh, I love him." But it was like within a week I knew that every quality he possessed was the quality that I imagined in my dream boyfriend. This boy had everything that I had ever wanted and more. He had more than I had ever dreamed of. And I fell in love with him very quickly. And I know that he had some depressive symptoms of, you know, he had gone through a very, very hard death with his grandfather. And at night, sometimes it would get worse for him. And we never actually dated. He wanted to wait until we met each other to officially date, but we acted very much as if we were dating. We both told each other that we loved each other. We planned our future together, and I was very excited for the future, which I hadn't been in a long time. I was very excited to see how my life was going to progress with this boy. And then one morning he was gone. I couldn't get a hold of him on Facebook, and I didn't have his number or anything. And for about a month, he was completely MIA. And so out of the blue like that, him leaving, him being gone, was devastating to me. I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know what was wrong. And after about a month, he said that he sent me a message on Facebook and he apologized for leaving, but he said that we just needed to be apart. And I didn't really understand that. I didn't understand what had happened. And I kept trying to message him, and a few months later, he messaged and said that we were very young, and he believes that we both loved each other, but it just wasn't the right thing. I still don't even understand it. So, another couple months went by. I tried to contact him a little bit because I still loved him so much. And at the beginning of the summer, before I went to Oneana, I sent him one last final message saying everything in my heart. I still loved him. I didn't understand why he left. I wanted to give everything another shot. And he sent me a message back saying that he had a new girlfriend, and messages like that for me couldn't be accepted anymore. And he's been gone ever since. And that is basically what's led up to my depression. And there will be a part 3 about what's happening now and symptoms I have now. So stay tuned for part 3.